Hi.
We are here once again.
Ugh.
Alex in the hot seat. What will
The hot
Waba...
seat.
Yeah, the hot seat.
Oh, do it. I'm ready.
All right, time for the rapid fire questions.
Okay.
No, joking.
I was about to say, I want you to know right now, like, I had class, and class ended like a little bit early, but I was like asleep in class. Like, I turned it on, turned my headphones all the way up, and I was in bed.
Hey, Grayson.
Oh, God. Hi, Grayson. Oh, my gosh.
Grayson, I'm sorry, you're not mod in here.
He doesn't know what it's like to not have power at this point.
It's okay, Grayson. We'll mod you after 100,000 bits. How about that? Anyway, welcome in. How are you doing?
Good. I'm good. I'm alive. I'm glad I took this break.
I'm glad for you that you took a break. What are your pronouns?
She, her, please. She/her. She/her.
Have you oh man, how do I even discuss this with you? So yeah, intersectionality, being a person, what's that all about? What the fuck is that? Do you know what that is?
Intersectionality is when you cross, you can like break it down. I'm such a word nerd, but like if you break it down, it basically means that you have experiences for different types, or not different types, but like the different parts that make up you as a person, all of your identities. So for example, my intersectionality, it's me being Black, it's me being a woman, and those are generally the main two I focus on. That's kind of intersectionality. It depends. It's different for everybody, but that's mine most of the time. Those are two I focus on, I think.
I mean, I think for the most part, that's the two like society really focuses on as well. You know, those are the two things that they see about you, first and foremost.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I can't turn it off, ever. And, you know, your identities, you can't turn them off. Some are more visible than others, but the main two that anybody would, like, judge me by would be Black woman and then Black woman. Because they're seen separately, and then they're seen together as well. So I guess it's 3. Oh my god, I haven't thought about this in a while. Huh.
Yeah. When's the last time you thought about it?
When is the last time I thought about it? You know what? Because I've had to do my graduate project, I've been doing it on Twitch, and it's horrible lack of communication, especially with marginalized communities. I've been talking to my advisor about it a lot. She's also a Black woman. And so I think it's probably been like about a week now. Like, we were talking about how she has no idea what Twitch is. First and foremost, like, she's got no clue what the hell I'm talking about when I'm talking about Twitch. I've had to explain it to her a couple times, and she's like, "Oh my god, it just seems like a great place for Black women to just come get, you know, attacked." And I'm like, "Oh, it is," but like, you know,
absolutely.
It's a great place. Anywhere's a great place for us to get attacked at this point. And she was just like, "Well, think about it. Like," she's like, "Now I don't know like a ton about gaming and all of these kinds of things, but I have to imagine that women don't exactly get treated amazing by themselves." And I was just like,
your assumption would be correct, my friend.
You would assume right. And she's like, "Yeah, and I can't imagine Black folks get treated very..." I was like, you are once again, you're doing so amazing. Right. Keep going. And she's just like, "So like if you put the two together, like I would assume Black women are just..." I'm like, "Yeah, sis, preach to, you're doing great. Like, just keep going."
I love her.
Like, she's like, "Oh shit, are you okay?" And I'm like, I didn't come to talk about that. Like, I just want to write my paper. Like, I
didn't come to talk about that. Well, are you okay?
Oh no, like, okay, so I think, at least for me,
yeah,
I've been a Black woman since I've been born. Like,
wow, what?
Yeah, it's crazy.
How'd that happen?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How you living with that? It's been 82 years. You have periods where you're pretty much fine with it. Like, I'm never not proud of it. I'm never ashamed of it or anything. Right. But then there are like periods where you are more attacked for it than others. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
And I think that's the same for any marginalized community. Like, I can't imagine it's any different if you're LGBTQIA plus, any of those kind of things. Like, we have good periods and then we have really bad periods, and it just kind of fluctuates. And so there are days where it's a lot easier than others, and then there's some days I have to be like, if anybody wants to talk about it, we can fight. Like, you just, you know, you have to be ready to take it as it comes. But it's exhausting some days, and other days it's fine.
Can we talk about toughness? Because I feel like that's something you'd connect to a little bit.
Yeah. I think...
I don't even know if that's the right term, honestly. Yeah.
Well, no, I think it's like fortitude and your resilience and everything. I think it's sad.
It is.
But at least for me, it's only been like in the past maybe like 2 or 3 years that I've had the resilience to deal with this kind of stuff, because I actually was very fortunate and grew up in a place where my identities really weren't selling points on how people thought about me. And so
they didn't hyper focus on it.
Yeah, they did. Like, okay, yeah, you are a Black woman and you do have these experiences, but it was never like, okay, well, we're going to come for you. I didn't experience a whole lot of hatred on those fronts, but then you get on the internet and you have to build that thick skin.
But
really quickly.
With the, I mean, how old are you? You're like my age, right?
I'm 24.
Wait, what?
You didn't know that? Did you not know that? Like, is this news?
Yeah.
This has been news to a lot of people lately. They're like, you're 24? I'm like, how do you think I am? They're like, 30? I'm like, I either get 30 or I get 18. There's like no in between. I'm like, I'm defo 24. Like,
I know. Black don't crack, Maki.
Oh,
trust
absolutely.
Me.
Absolutely.
Hello, I've been with Frankie for 7 years. I know.
So then you know. But like, yeah, people are like, you're 24. One person was like, are you sure?
Honestly, it wasn't the looks. It wasn't the looks. It was the it's just the way you talk about things. You I mean, obviously you're millennial as well, but I just like associate everyone who like kind of talks in the same way that I do as like around my age or very, very close to it. I suppose you're pretty close to my age.
Well, like,
but I feel old.
For one thing, I'm the first year. I'm actually Gen Z. It's insane.
That's the other,
first year. Technically, if you want to, it depends on the scale. Yeah. I consider myself millennial because I grew up with them. But like, I have old parents. Like all my friends who were my age had parents who were like,
oh god, you too? How old are your parents?
My parents are like in their 60s now. Yeah. So my friends' parents are like in their 40s or something like that.
My parents are like 72, 73, somewhere around there. My mom had me when she was like 48. So
exactly. Yeah, my mom was like 39, 40 something when she had me. So it's
40
like
something.
I just have older perspectives that I probably shouldn't have yet. You know what I mean? Like, we're a little bit wiser beyond our years.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you know, I am too. I always considered myself an old soul, but literally, I old soul is just a flag for trauma, and Maki has it right on the ball as well. It's the way we speak because we go through some shit, but also Black women sound older because we have to grow up so fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You have to grow up really fast when Black girls are seen as super duper emotional all the time. I got bullied till like high school because I cried a lot. I'm a crybaby.
Same.
And I own it now. Like, I cry. I will cry when I'm angry and when I'm sad. I cry. Mm-hmm. But I used to get made fun of for it. Like, why are you crying? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And it's like, because this is how I feel. And it took me until I got a damn therapist to be like, okay, if I feel so bad that I have to cry about it, maybe I just feel bad. And not because I'm sensitive or anything. Exactly. And
I fucking hate that. Oh my god. I used to get called sensitive all the time, and I still was sensitive for the longest time, and I had to mask. All right. So this is me being undiagnosed autistic. I had to mask myself to not cry constantly throughout high school. I feel like I emotionally stunted myself by refusing to cry for years, and I just like felt like a robot, and it was awful.
Yeah, I don't cry in situations where you probably should now. Like, I don't really cry at funerals.
Same.
Not anymore. I'll have people in my family pass away that I probably should cry over, and I'll cry for like 2 hours. And then I'm done. I don't grieve very well anymore because I don't allow myself to cry. I do not handle my emotions. If I'm irritated, I will internalize it all, because if I don't, I'll cry, and that's not okay.
But but isn't it fucking wild if we don't cry at appropriate times, but like, oh no,
you know, I've died as fucking Link a million fucking times. God damn it, this fucking Balkan needs to fucking die. Ah!
Oh my god, Waba, I was playing freaking Hotline Miami last night.
Yeah.
Again. And like, it's not even the first time I've played it. That game is hard. Like, you die a lot. I died about 40 times in a row.
Oh, fuck.
And I like cut it off and I was like, I'm going to bed because I was this close to crying. Like, cry over the important things, baby. But
no.
Raised a certain way. We don't get
Video
to cry.
games are the important things.
Much as I pay for these games, you're damn right I'm gonna cry. This hurts. This sucks. But yeah. You also murder so many people in That's true, I do kill people in Hotline Miami.
God. Oh my god. Shamper brought up like the ultimate fucking ironic thing of like, you know, they sell you this idea of the over emotional black woman. And yet, like in a doctor setting, it's like, you're overreacting. You're not really in that much pain. Get fucked and die at a higher rate. Statistically proven.
Oh my god, let me talk about that. I am, first and foremost, I'm a biologist. If you've never known that, now you know.
Yes.
I am a degree-holding biologist, right?
Hell yeah.
There is no different. Part of that is rooted in a very old racist thought process, right? So part of that is
which is black people don't feel pain.
Do not feel pain. We have a higher pain tolerance. We are more primal human beings who are, you know, super close to nature, caveman ass people. Like, first and foremost, if you stab me, I will cry.
It's just doctors trying. It's just doctors trying to call black people monkeys. Let's be real.
Exactly. Let's be real. So you take that into account for these doctors at hospitals. Black women die at a higher rate in childbirth, specifically. Like, it's a lot for other things, but childbirth is incredibly high on our mortality rate. Like, we go in there, and a lot of times doctors use what's called a pain scale, right? And sometimes it includes pictures, and sometimes it's just numbers. And they ask you on a scale from 1 to 10, where is your pain right now? Birth, if you don't know, I've never even experienced it, and I don't have to know this. Birth is one of the most painful things a person can experience on this earth. It's like second after, I think, being set on fire or something ridiculous, right? And
yeah, it's like 12.
Exactly. Like, it's ridiculous. And so if a black woman comes in, if a person who isn't black comes in, right? It's usually white women, but anybody comes in and is like, my pain scale is a 9 out of 10. They will treat it like it's a 9 out of 10. If a black person comes in and says, I am in labor, my pain, my contractions are a 9 out of 10, there are plenty of nurses and doctors who will say, oh, okay, yeah, all right, she's overreacting. She's just trying to get attention, blah, blah, blah. Black people are just trying to have all these. She's just trying to get drugs because it's just so internalized, right? Or maybe there is an entire human being pushed out of my body right now, and my pain is a damn 9 out of 10. But the internalized racism on that one is so ridiculous. It's part of the reason I don't want to have kids. I'm gonna be real with you. Like,
the criminalization as well of black populations, like you just said, drug seeking. Like, that's fucking it. Like, you get labeled as a fucking drug seeker.
I can't possibly be experiencing pain like other women of different races because I am black. I must simply want drugs or attention or both. Right? No, I do not want to have kids partly because of that. There is not a doctor on this earth. My OB is a black woman for these reasons exactly. But besides her, like, this doctor on earth, I really trust enough for that. It's so ugly, but it's true. It's yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna adopt like a dog and call it a life, I think. Just for that alone.
Not cats.
One dog.
One dog in a whole village.
Yeah. Just pass them around, you know. Grayson can have the dog one day out of the month because it's all I can trust him with. So forth and so on. But what would the dog's name be? It would not be Starla, okay? The electronics get the name Starla. The dog, if I get a dog, I'm getting a corgi and I'm naming it Perkinji. Just off rip.
Perkinji? What is that from?
Biologist again. Perkinji fibers are, in short, they're your heartstrings. And if you go through high amounts of stress, cortisol will actually break them down, which is why people can die of heartbreak. So, heartstrings. It's kind of cute.
Stress is a real thing. Yo, Silan.
Some of my love. You got me heated about that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's my job as a white man to get black women heated, right?
Oh my god. All right, drop your address.
You want it? I'll give it to you.
Now you're like a flight away. Nobody got flight money right now. We're fine.
Listen, all right. Oh, man.
It pisses
white
me off
people,
when
though,
act like only certain races get addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
We could be here all night talking about stereotypes against.
Next Dono girl confirmed. Alex comes over to Waba to beat them up.
If you'd like me, to beat Waba's ass, please donate to this link.
If you want to beat Waba's ass, press 1 now.
For every $1 donated, I will beat their ass one time. It could all be so simple. No, yeah, Shamper, you're coming through with these facts right now. Like the amount of stereotypes, God, that I have experienced on Twitch in like the past month have been hilarious.
So here's the thing, Shamper. Here's the thing. And this is something I like to point out, because I know Alex is a very smart person and, loves data and statistics, I'm sure, as much as the next researcher. The quote unquote heroin epidemic has been going on for many, many years past, when they said it started. And the main populations affected were black people. And it wasn't until, recent time, 90s, 2000s era, where, a bunch of white women were prescribed a lot of various painkillers and started shooting it up. Then all of a sudden, then it becomes a problem because, oh no, the white populations have a heroin epidemic and a problem now. Wild. Oh, it affected my brother, and like, I know this person. And then the story all of a sudden, changed. The narrative changed. The narrative changed from the war on drugs to the opioid epidemic, and let's talk about some very personal stories about this person's brother or whatever is addicted to heroin because of some back injury or whatever, and it's just so sad of them, but beforehand you fucking criminalized and demonized drug users as this like awful thing, and it's just the hypocrisy is just
there's a lot of hypocrisy.
It's so infuriating.
Like when I learned about that the first time, I wasn't even surprised, to be honest with you. Like the whole war on drugs thing started and was mainly focused.
Oh, it was a racist campaign. They admitted it.
It was absolutely. They
admitted
it. They absolutely admitted it. It was based on inner city kids, which happened to majorly be black.
Oh, it happened to be. How'd that happen? Redlining.
Yeah, exactly. And you criminalize these things. First and foremost, I don't ever think a drug addiction is something you should be criminalizing. That's just me.
Right.
Like it's an addiction. I don't think you're a criminal because there are chemical reactions going on or not going on in your brain. That's kind of messed up. But besides the point, there are so many examples of things being criminalized until it affects the majority. And then once it affects the people who are not marginalized, now it's a problem that we should all be aware of and have sympathy for, and all of these things. And even then, those campaigns to have sympathy for it and be like raise awareness, all the people you see tend to be white. Like you will not see a black woman. I don't think I've ever seen. Oh my God, I have never seen commercials for, and it's crazy that I've seen them at all, but I've never seen commercials for like rehab facilities, really nice ones, like in Florida, really pretty places. All the people that they put on those commercials are white.
I find that so ironic because Florida still has those fucking like pop-up pharmacies that just sell pain pills by the fucking dozen. It's just like, oh, do you want heroin? Here you go. Here's literally a handful of fucking pills. Go to Florida.
It's like, now here's our rehab facility. Pay us $1,400 a month. Like,
right. Absolutely, addiction should be a public health issue.
It is a public health issue. It is 100% a public health issue. Hell, it's such a public health issue that it can be pushed onto your kid. Like, pregnant mom can be addicted and the kid comes out addicted as well. Like, that is a public health issue. That is not a crime.
Oh yeah, criminalizing prostitution as well. Like, come on, sex work is real work, people. Let's go.
I never understood. No, I mean, okay, no. I get why they criminalize sex work. Not like I'm
not like in the, oh, it's okay that they're criminalizing. I get why they do it. The whole separation of church and state thing is like bullshit, but like the people who be criminalizing it be the main ones like taking part of it. Like I know damn well almost all government men, whether they're married or not, have Pornhub accounts. And I just
Pornhub accounts. I mean, come on, Epstein, pedophile island. Come on, they're the ones anticipating it. They're probably the ones even like running the fucking like you know, the trafficking rings. If you really want to get really, really in depth with the sex trade.
I just think it's really stupid. Like you're fighting legalizing sex work for stupid reasons, because you could legalize it, you could regulate it. All the sex workers keep can be taken care of.
Keep all of them safe and healthy.
Healthy.
Like they do after. They do that in Nevada. They do it really good in Nevada.
Do it well in Nevada. I was like reading about that. I was like, they've got it set up in the taxation system, everything. Like they have to go. I think they have to go like every 6 months to get tested and taken care of. And it's like, dude, there are companies in Nevada that have like whole ass health insurance plans for their sex workers. Like
we could have
it. Me living in Texas is like, oh, I know this is never going to happen.
So you grew up in Texas as well, right?
Born and raised. What a fun time.
It's wild to me you've never really had like a negative experience with being black and in Texas.
Well,
that's
so like
wild to me. That's culture shock.
It is culture shock, right? But people don't realize Texas, first off, is big as hell. It's the second biggest state in the country, right? Sure. Most of the time when you hear about racist goings on in Texas, it's the smaller towns. It's not big city. I live in a big city, and my city is heavily military based, which means there are tons of different cultures. And there are tons of things like mixed relationships. All of these things, they're very normal here. And so you grow up as a minority in a city where, quite frankly, the minority is already a majority. It's majority Hispanic folks here. Like, our mayor was Hispanic. Well, actually, I think we have like a white mayor now. But we're so normalized here, I didn't have to deal with any of that kind of stuff. It wasn't until you start going other places or you leave the big city. Like there's quite a few towns in Texas that quite frankly black folks will still tell each other like, do not stop here.
Right.
Keep driving. Go somewhere else. But
I could guess where you live from that now. You know,
probably. That. Yeah, I know. I live in a big city, like you'll never find it. But still, like
I'll never find you. But like it's just funny because I used to have friends in Texas from that town, so
yeah, but this place is so heavily military focused and people are a lot more open. Here and in Austin. Austin's like hella liberal, so
nice.
I don't know. I think Texas, like, don't get me wrong, like Texas is still hella racist and sexist and homophobic and all of those wonderful, amazing things. But like, there's more accepting people in Texas than you would think, basically. Yeah. I mean, our governor, if I ever see him, it's gonna.
I mean, there's all types, you know. It really comes down to that. There's all types of people. There's good people and bad people of every single race, you know, creed, nationality, sex, etc., so forth.
Exactly. You know? Yeah.
It's good and bad.
I mean, I always understand when people are like, "Oh, Texas is racist," and I'm like, "Oh, it is," but so is every other state. So you choose your poison on this one.
Right.
Ugh.
How do you think?
That's one of my favorite things. But
how do you think we? This is a bad question. Do you approach this conversation often in your community at all?
No.
Or it's just kind of a non-issue?
So, I've told like a couple of people this, but I don't say it enough. I've been overwhelmingly blessed with my community.
That's good.
And I was having this conversation with my mom like a while back. All of my mods are white, I think. I'm pretty sure. Or maybe it might have changed. I just got 3 new mods. But up until a certain point, all of my mods are white, right? My mods are bloodthirsty if anybody comes in and is any sort of hateful. I've actually noticed there's actually like a vast uptick in the number of marginalized communities that are being represented in the village. But like, I've never not felt safe with anybody in the village. Like, I've had people come in to stream right, first time chatters say something racist, and not only does one mod ban it, but then the rest of the mods start screaming about it, and then the non-mods catch wind of what the hell just happened, and then they just start screaming as well. Like, half the time I don't actually have to say anything. And just be like, what the chat said, and I keep it pushing. But I think there's almost 3,000 of them on Twitch, and they would all like apparently go to bat for me even if they don't have the same experience as me, which is why I go so hard for them even if I don't have the same experience as them, right? So like I damn near had a panic attack on stream when people came in and were homophobic. I mean, I just started screaming. There's a clip of it, and I've never been so angry in my entire life. But like, if you're gonna give me that much love, I will do it like 12 times as bad. So no, I haven't had to have the conversation that much. It doesn't seem like I need to.
That's awesome, honestly. That's ideal.
We had the hate raid thing happen in June and July, whenever the hell that was. And there were a couple times where people were like, what the hell is going on? And I had to explain, but it was never like, let me explain to you why people are being hateful. It was always, let me explain to you what the hell a hate raid is. Like, they were always like, are you telling me that they're doing this because of this, this, and this? I'm like, exactly. We game. They've been...
That's great.
Wonderful. Oh my god, I'm so lucky.
Yeah, I mean, I get questionable. I get at least one questionable folk every week for Mental Health Monday that comes through here and says some like really tone deaf shit. So like, you know, I have a lot of trouble engaging the conversation calmly, you know, because it's just like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Like, I just ban after like dumbass comment number 2, you know, at this point.
See, okay, so here's the thing about the Black community, right? We have known trauma for centuries at this point.
Yep.
We laugh. We just laugh. We are the kings, queens, and non-binary royalty of laughing through our pain, which is why I will sit here. I got a hate raid one time. I don't even remember what they said, but like, it was hilarious to me for some reason. Like, I read it and I was like, you know what? What did I say? Almost verbatim. I said something like, oh my God, you know, back in the old days, when slavery was really bold and, you know, belligerent, racist people were a lot more creative with the names they called us.
Right.
I'm just saying, I think y'all have really gone downhill. And I started laughing uncontrollably. I was like, dog, what are you talking about? Why is y'all have gotten so tired with the slurs you choose to use. Like, I have heard some very creative things. Like, are y'all serious? If you're gonna come in here, at least make me
shit, laugh. I'm sorry.
Are we on ad time?
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, I saw that.
My bad. I keep forgetting to pay attention to it.
It's almost over.
Yeah, I know.
It's almost over.
It's almost over, Alex.
I don't know who the hell any of these people are that they're showing on this ad I got.
30 seconds. I'm sorry. I usually keep better track of it.
No, you're good. And dude, I hate the Twitch ads because they like.
Oh, I intentionally.
They end, and then they're black for like 10 seconds. It's very annoying.
Are you saying black is annoying?
Black screens? Yeah.
Black screens.
So it is. Loading.
All screens matter. All screens matter, Alex.
Yeah. What the hell was I talking about? No, I was just making fun of racists.
Making fun of racists and how you have to laugh instead of cry.
Yeah, occasionally it just gets so much that you cry, like, you know, when things get really intense. Like, obviously there's nothing to do but cry. But
yeah,
for the run-of-the-mill, everyday, lazy racism, you're just like...
Lol. Oh, yeah. See, it's rough. It's weird because I want to engage the conversation a lot more, but more often than not, I find myself just trying to be the best ally by raising other voices up. So that's why I'm doing this. Like, I think I told you this as well. This is why I'm doing this talk.
Yeah.
Because I want to raise your voice up.
I mean, I think it's important to ask questions. You'll never know unless you ask. You know what I mean? And quite frankly, most of the time, at least for me, like there are some black folks, and quite frankly, they are valid for saying this. They just don't want to be asked. Like they've seen enough, dealt with enough. But like for me, it's like, thank you for asking. I will explain. You know,
Like, I never have a problem being like, let me explain to you why this is some shit, or why this is probably not cool, or like this is really disrespectful.
I think it would be kind of helpful, because like, I don't know, I get tired of explaining it, and I know you're tired too. But it's like, people get so fucking uppity about Black-owned spaces and being exclusive, and they're like, oh, well, that's racist. And it's like, bro, you don't even fucking understand why it has to be that way.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to engage this conversation. And I don't think anyone really wants to engage the conversation, because it's like, there's nothing to teach you, because you're just going to like be ignorant. But for someone who's learning.
Yeah, I think first and foremost. Thank you,
Maki.
That's what literally what I was about to say,
know what racism means.
So
first of all,
when people are like,
big.
When people, I love when people say something like,
Black people are racist.
Why are Black people being racist by saying that white people
Black
do this
people
thing?
can't
or
be racist.
If they have this space, we have our own spaces. We have our own awards ceremonies. We have our own this. We have our own that. It's like, well, why can't you just celebrate all women? Or why can't you celebrate all gamers? It's like, because y'all didn't celebrate us and we have to do it for ourselves. That's racist. First and foremost, racism is a systematic thing that has happened to us for hundreds of years. Okay. Racism is, I was given a white name so that I wouldn't be looked at crazy on job applications. Racism is my hair being relaxed all the time, so I don't get looked at crazy when I go into certain places and get deemed as very unprofessional or unkempt. Racism is when a Black person comes onto a, I don't know, like freaking what happened? Comes onto like a news show being asked questions, and then they still get talked over because they're not seen as equal to the other people who are supposed to be hosting them. That is racism. It is systematic. It is why Black people overwhelmingly have lower credit scores. It is why Black people do not get hired for the same jobs that they are overqualified for as their white peers. That's racism. Racism is not, we don't want to be around you. That's prejudice. Now, I will tell you right now, do we grow up and we have our own do we have our own prejudice? Everybody has prejudice. Jesus Christ. What I cannot be is racist. I myself am a minority. I cannot be systematically racist to any white person on this planet because the system was not built for me. And I know that's what racists are afraid of. I know they are afraid of us becoming the majority and doing to them what they have done to us. I mean, that's why I know damn well that they know they're being racist. Like, if you're that afraid of me just stepping on you like this, maybe you know there's a problem.
The fact that racists are afraid of Black people when they hold space at all is just very telling, you know?
It's very telling. If you are this upset, yes.
Yeah. You're this upset, you're this obsessed. You know, just listen to the fucking chants. I know you don't want to, but it's like, you know, you will not replace us. Like, what?
Replace you where? Replace you where? On what? Replace.
Like, bitch, I could replace you with a cardboard cutout and that would have more value in society. Like, the fuck are you doing with your life?
And then it was so funny. So when there was that whole conversation about, we were talking about appropriation of certain things in Black culture and how a lot of Black culture is stolen and then used in white culture and then given no sort of context from where it came from. My favorite argument is like when Black people are like, these hairstyles that y'all are choosing to do are not built for your hair type, and you are appropriating them while calling us ugly for having the same hair type, but you are praised for that hairstyle.
Oh,
right?
Like fucking braids and
First off, a box braid, that's not a word. Stop. But when we say that, the first thing they come back with is something to the effect of, well, you straighten your hair. I'm sorry, what?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, and?
Yes, we have to. We have to. If you go to work, if you go to a job interview, if a white woman goes to a job interview and her hair is braided, oh, it's so cute. What a nice little hairstyle.
Wow, it's so cultured. It up,
Cindy, like you look amazing. But if I go in with braids, that is a Black woman.
wow, you're really black. You look really cultured.
Exactly. You're probably going to get angry at this interview, aren't you? Like, I've actually had, oh my God, that's actually why I don't go to Sephora.
Wait, seriously?
I actually do not go to Sephora. I walked in there. I was 2 steps into the door. Like, door here, Alex here, had just walked in, didn't even know what I was going in there for yet, right? And the woman was like, we don't have your shade. And I was like,
what the fuck?
And I stopped for a second and I said, what do you mean by that? Well, we don't have your shade. I'm just here to tell you that now. And I said, and I quote, first and foremost, I came in here for eyeshadow. So if you don't have a shade of blue, maybe you should close the store. Second off, do you hear yourself? I did not come in. Do you hear yourself? Like, for real? You don't have my shade. First off, I know you don't have my damn shade. Nobody has my shade. But, like, you can't come in here and just be like, we don't serve black people. Because that's what that screams to me. I haven't been to a Sephora since. I literally did an entire freaking, what was it, sponsored stream for a brand who sells their brands at Sephora. And when they approached me and they're like, well, you can, I don't know if you've seen us, we're in Sephora. I said, no, I have not seen you at Sephora because I will not be going to Sephora because they were racist. And that woman, that poor sweet white woman, she was just like, they're what? I told her the story and she was like, oh, that's interesting. Takes copious notes. She's like, well, where do you go and sit? I was like, I go to Ulta. You know how many black people work at Ulta? Everybody works at Ulta. I love Ulta. And she's just like, oh, okay, well, Ulta it is. And I was like, are you... That right there is racial gatekeeping. That right there is racism. That right there is prejudice.
Yes, it is.
But I can't, if I worked at Sephora and a white woman came in, you know what I can't say? We don't have your shade, because every brand has your shade. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh my God.
The fact that she got away with saying shit like that too.
It was like one of the first times I'd ever like dealt with blatant racism in my face in person. And so I quite frankly did not know how to respond. I was like,
yeah, I wouldn't either. Like, what the fuck?
Like, what am I meant to say? Because in that moment I wanted to cuss her out, but then angry black woman trope. So
right. See, this is why when I became like aware of my whiteness, I know, shocking. Every white person goes through this. Look up Holt's white identity racial model. But when I was like very like, you know, aware of myself and all that stuff, I just made a decision that, you know what? I look white. I am white, rather. I look white. I am white. You know, I look male enough as well. Mm-hmm. I can fucking shout and people will think it's normal.
You must clearly be upset about something.
So, you know, and that is a perfectly valid thing for me as a manly man to be upset about things, and people should listen to me when I'm upset and angry, you know, because everyone needs to quell the men's feelings, and men are allowed to be angry. You know, that's one of the 2 feelings we're allowed to have: angry and happy.
That's the only one you should feel when you're upset.
Yeah, that's right. Just anger, unbridled rage, right? Yeah. So now I try to use my privilege as much as possible to Frankie's chagrin at sometimes, and I have to hold myself back. But I use my privilege and I fucking assert myself in situations and just be like, did you really just fucking say that? Because it happens a lot here in Albany. Yeah. A lot of subtle shit, racism shit happens here.
I've heard that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it can get really bad, and I am definitely the kind of person where it's like, I can fucking get away with saying this shit, but I know if Frankie said this, they'd be shot.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. It's very, very...
That's sad.
Very interesting. And I think I really love when and I've got plenty of white friends, and I haven't had to have any sort of altercation with any of them. They're like, if you are ever in a situation, I had an entire tearful conversation with my college roommate, my junior year of college, right? She's white. She is absolutely the most unassuming person you've ever seen. She doesn't have a mean bone in her body. Mm-hmm. Very, very, like, you can approach her because she's very cute, right? And she looked me dead in the eyes, and was like, because something racist had happened in Austin. Something really racist towards black people. Somebody, like, I'm pretty sure somebody had died. And she, like, pulled me aside one day. It's like a weekend. And she was like, if we are ever out together and you
are pulled over, she's like, I am prepared to defend you. She's like, because they won't listen to you, but they will listen to me. And I've never cried so hard in my life. I was like, that is the nicest thing you could ever say to me. And like, good God, she actually visited me like 2 days ago. Aww. And she checks on me every so often. She's like, are you okay? Over the last summer, when all of those things were going on, all of the racial violence, all of those things, she texted me. She's like, are you okay? Do you need anything? Are you okay? Somebody was asking me how I felt about this. I've got friends who were asking if I would give a statement about how things are going on. She's like, what do you want me to say for you? She's like, because I can't have a valid opinion. And I was like, I am tired and I am scared. And she's like, what else do you want me to tell them? Like, she love her. Now, quite frankly, not everybody has the mental fortitude, and that's okay to be like, I will stand up to a cop. That's fine. Cops are horrifying.
Oh,
but like,
yeah, I'd stand up to a cop. I'd fucking punch a cop. I mean, what? In a video game.
I would. Oh my God, me in my head, there have been several situations where I'm just like, but I can't. Right.
All right.
But
in video games, you can.
Video games, you can. Oh my God, it's so nice. I love GTA 5.
GTA 5. Yeah. Oh, cops make me so fucking livid, dude. Yeah, same.
They're horrifying to me, and they should not be. No, they should be. I'm like, in a perfect world, a cop shouldn't scare you, right? But part of that reason is cops are sent into a lot of situations that they, quite frankly, should not be the ones de-escalating.
Yep.
Quite a few situations.
And cops aren't even fucking properly trained to de-escalate situations. Because,
God, no.
All right, listen, all right. Define culture, right? Define culture real fucking quick. Just Google culture. Tell me the Google definition of culture.
Me? You want me to do it?
Yeah, for real. Right now.
Okay. Culture. I can't spell. Wow.
Your friend does sound... Yeah, I agree with Shampoo. Your friend sounds lovely.
She's wonderful.
But it's so she doesn't even protect you in the first place.
It's sad that she has to in the first place. Even she agreed.
She gives me some Mika energy, and I don't know why.
It's odd that you say that because she gives me... Mika, she and her have very similar personalities. Mika's more upfront about it, though. Robin's very quiet. It's just... They're both Canadian, so...
Right. So
culture.
Yeah.
The arts and other manifestations of human intellectual achievement regarded collectively. No, I hate that one. The customs, arts, social institutions, and achievements of a particular nation, people, or other social group.
All right, social group. So consider cops as a social group. I think Maki has already kind of hit some of my points here. Cops were fucking there to enforce the laws of... want to get into fucking some communism here theory. They're there to enforce the laws of the upper middle white class, frankly, So, who is most likely to become a cop? Well, you've built this giant culture in America around guns and violence and saying, masculinity rules and femininity, stinks. And, masculine equals angry and equals, in control and power and stuff. And you have this, white power ideal and the white fucking power tripping. So who wants to become a cop? Well, it's going to be fucking Mike with an anger issue who wants to have a power trip over people and wants to, have control over other people.
And not get in trouble for it.
And not get in trouble for it because cops get away with literal murder, like not even a metaphor, literal murder all the time. And the conversation is so far fucking disconnected from that idea that people are literally arguing about, well, maybe the cops should do, just a little bit less murder.
Bad,
Like, you're like literally like slap on the hand, bad, don't do so much murder kind of not good. Like, oh my God. But yeah, the blue blood mentality, the blue lives mentality. Oh Oh, it disgusts me.
Goodness.
But it's literally just a fucking it's a sign. Nightmare. It's a tell. It's a cell time for KKK. It's a cell time for white supremacy. It's a cell time. It's a sign for, you know, it's like a tell. It's a tell. You know what I mean? Like, if you know, you know, so like, kind of thing.
I think it was, I don't remember when it was, Trump had done something stupid. I'm so glad that man is out of office. If I ever see him, I'm going to fight him. I don't care if I go to federal prison.
Same.
Legal. Anyways, there was like the height of people, you know, supporting the crap out of Blue Lives Matter, right? And I live in a majority white neighborhood.
Racist dog whistle, that's the term I was thinking of. Thank you.
Mostly veterans, mostly older folks, retired people. And I woke up one day and just started noticing that almost every house on every street in my neighborhood had a little blue light in the front door. And that was them saying Blue Lives Matter. Yikes. I have never felt more uncomfortable in my own home than that day. And it was like, to people on the other side, that just looks like, oh, they just support cops, right? Like, that's all it is. They just support cops, right? To me, that is saying your life does not matter enough.
Yeah.
Because the only reason you say Blue Lives Matter is a blatant ripoff, absolutely, of Black Lives Matter. You know what a cop can do that I can't? A cop can go home, take the badge off, completely strip himself of anything that would identify him as a police officer and go about his damn business and be perfectly fine. You know what I can't do? Take the black skin off. Ever. No, not once. You know, in absolute contrast to what a lot of racist people would think. I can't, you know, scrub it clean or something like this is kind of how I was born. I have melanin in my skin.
Although some black people bleach their skin.
Yeah, that's internalized racism because they hate them so much because we've been taught to hate ourselves. Mm-hmm. Like, I had a friend in 4th grade, black guy, darker skinned, way darker than me. And he was having an absolute breakdown. And I to this day don't know what made him feel this way, but because he felt like he was dirty because he was trying to scrub himself clean. And I was like, that's not how skin works. And he was absolutely distraught at the concept. That is the internalized racism. But that's part of the reason, like, when these hate raids were going on Twitch, and part of that, they were to a certain extent like targeting people who had the black tag on their streams. People were like, well, just take the tag off. And I was like, take the tag? I can't take my skin off. Why would I take the tag off? It's the same concept. Black. Whether or not I have a tag on or not, I'm still going to be a black person. They'll still find me. But I'm not going to take it off because I can't take this off. If that means I get attacked, that means I get attacked. But quite frankly, you're just showing your own ass, so keep it pushing. But
can I draw a parallel?
Sure.
Because I think this is the experience that I know more often for what he was going through with, you know, scrubbing his skin and feeling wrong, feeling dirty for being, you know, for just being born black. I feel like it's I mean, it's obviously like a combination of like societal stress and pressure to conform to, you know, conform to the white man, literally, you know. But I just thought about that as like, you know, trans folk and feeling completely wrong in your own body. And just like that experience, but, you know, in a physical way. I mean, it is a physical way for trans folks as well, you know, just dysphoria affects a lot of things. So it's literally a racial dysphoria of like, I am wrong. I feel wrong, you know? Yeah.
There are parallels with that. It's why it's easy for me to sympathize with other marginalized communities that I'm not even a part of. Because to me, it's like,
we're all hurting.
We're all suffering. And we're all being, you know, threatened for our lives and disenfranchised for different identities that we may have. And it's like, if I'm over here being threatened for simply existing, you are also being over here threatened for simply existing. For something you did not choose. You know, you were born this way, dear God. And so it's like, I
mean, speaking of culture, I think marginalized communities understand something that non-marginalized communities don't understand, but need to understand, which is that you're only as strong socially as the person who's lowest on that social ladder. Ultimately, you know, yeah. I often bring up the poem from World War II, which, you know, goes, then they came for the X, and I did not speak up because I am not an X, etc. and so forth. But then they came for me, and no one stood up for me because there was no one fucking left.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to understand, you know, you're only as the whole entire community is only as strong and only as protected as its you know, most marginalized members,
as its least protected
members. Yeah,
that's the whole point of intersectionality, right there. That's it. You can't ignore this happens a lot in the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is like one of the most disappointing things
to
hear as a Black person is when other people in the Black community, we're not perfect. We're not. We absolutely are not perfect.
Right.
When
no one is,
like,
but they want you to be. But they want
exactly.
You to be
that's the problem. But like, when they're saying, "Well, why are we worrying about this marginalized community? Like, we still haven't gotten our rights," and it's like, because there are people within our community who are marginalized in other ways than just being Black.
Right.
Absolutely. You cannot take care of, protect, and fight for the rights of all Black people until you fight for the intersectionality within that community. That means fighting for all of the Black folks who are trans, who are LGBTQIA+, who are multicultural, mixed race, who are all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot, we cannot ever expect to get anywhere until all of us get somewhere. It's never going to work. It cannot be one at a time, because you're asking those people who are at the crossroads of more than one identity, marginalized identity, to pick and choose which identity they're going to fight for. Because it's telling them, all right, yeah, you being gay right now does not matter. You're just Black. Like, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
It all matters at the same damn time.
100%. Yeah.
That is 200%. Not okay.
It's not.
Like, oh my God. Just... What? That's the point of intersectionality.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody who had no idea what that was the point, that's the point of it right there. It's you can't pick and choose one at a time. Until Black lives matter, none of us matter. Until LGBTQIA+ lives matter, none of us matter. Mm-hmm. That's not how that works. It's just not how it works, and it never will be how that works. And I think that is like a absolute failure of society is intersectionality. It really is.
Because people don't think about it. They don't need to think. Here's the thing with you know, you look up Holt's white identity model. I often reference this, because, you know, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing of conformative culture, of white dominance culture is it's very intentional that you don't think about your identity, because the less here's a fucking really insidious thing to think about. The less you think about your own identity, the less that you have to think about your own identity, the less empathy you have for other people's struggles.
Mm-hmm.
Entirely.
Well, that's
like empathy point. Just goes way fucking down. It is the point. It is exactly the point. That is
exactly the point. It was really fun learning in college this part when America was first starting.
Yes.
Black people. Well, I mean, obviously after slavery, but like Black people, I think it was after slavery. I get this part confused. But at some point, Black folks and poor, impoverished white people were actually on the same page. They were like, well, we're all suffering, so we might as well hang up. The problem is they all ganged up together in their suffering and fought against the oppression they were all fighting on. They were like, all suffering is suffering. We're all going to fight together.
Mm-hmm.
So racism, Jim Crow, all of those things became a thing so that even though the poor white folks were still poor, they could feel superior to Black people so that they could never work together again, so that this could never happen again. And we're still trying to get back to it. But that's that intersectionality. They know damn well if we were ever able to come together, intersectionality, that was ever to be a strong thing again, that'd be the end of it. The absolute end of it. If you could get all women on the same, you'd be screwed anyway.
Dude, all right, you know what population you really got to tap into and educate, but it'll probably never fucking happen. Middle-aged white women. There is nothing stronger in this society next to a rich white dude, but you're never going to convince the rich white dude. Middle-aged white women. If you can convince that population that intersectionality is important and all Black lives matter, then that's it. That's the world.
We'd be done.
We'd be done.
We'd be done. It wouldn't even just be in this country. It'd be everywhere.
It'd be a cleanup. It'd be a giant worldwide just cleanup crew.
If you could militarize Karenism, we'd be done. There'd be no reason for me to have to fight anymore because they'd be gun-ho. It'd be so good.
Oh my God, so Sharon, did you hear about intersectionality? Oh my God, yeah, it's so important. Those poor people, oh my God, they're being fucked over by a system.
Issues do not spread as fast as the gossip of middle-aged white women. I'm telling you right now.
The
word would get out. There would be protests tomorrow morning.
It'll spread faster than a Facebook minion meme.
I'm telling you, like I wouldn't have to work that hard. I would not have to work that. I'd be like, hey, Susan, come here.
Susan, come here.
Hey, come here. We're being oppressed. Are you out of your mind? Who do I speak to? Because I'm just...
Honey, you're being impressed? Who do I have to fight? What needs to happen? All right, we need to pass this legislature.
Absolutely.
And we need to kick this list of senators out for being racist.
Oh, I'll get him out of there right now. How dare he? Because you know what they can do?
I know his wife. I know his sister.
They know freaking everybody. Hell, if it was even just Southern middle-aged white women, we'd be done. Oh, they talk so much trash. Yes, exactly. They would where's the manager the hell out of this country. Would be no need. Because if middle-aged white women were to vote in the way that we would want them to do, if they were to vote in the way that protected all these marginalized communities,
it'd be over.
We'd have no issues. None. Not a damn issue.
Deadass.
Clean white. Clean ass white. But it'd have to be like true visibility on their part. Like it couldn't even be like performative because we've seen performative allyship, and quite frankly, that's worse. I'd rather you were just racist. This is just me. This is just me. All right.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm speaking only for myself.
Yeah.
I
do not represent the whole entire Black population.
Exactly. I would rather you were outwardly racist than a closet racist, because then I can avoid you. Then I don't have to think twice about it.
Right.
You're just making me suspicious of good people. Leave me alone. Just tell me you hate me and I can move on with my life. It is a lot easier.
Exactly. Oh, same. I'm done. I hate high school drama shit, and like
it's not
performative
worth it.
performative activism is just it ain't it, honey. It ain't it.
Oh my God.
I can't deal with it.
Like when people on Twitter are like, just tell me you hate Black folks and go. We're not lying.
Right.
It's not a joke. I'm serious. Like just
100.
Tell me you say slurs and I can be done.
Just tell me you call your wife the N-word while making passionate missionary sex, and we'll be.
I will hate you, but I will appreciate the honesty. Like oh my God, if there's one thing that drives me more nuts than blatant racism, it's microaggressions. So like just go ahead.
Microaggression.
Come out with it.
I have a dumb question. What do you think of South Park?
Can't watch South Park.
I just thought of PC Principal and microaggressions.
Oh my God, I cannot watch South Park. I don't know. It's gotten to the point where even when people are like satirical about stuff, I'm like, what do you mean by that?
Is it real satire, or are you just like dog whistling?
Are you just saying satire so you can get away with a joke? Like I'm trying to understand. Like they're everywhere. When some movie got like a bunch of praise for casting a bunch of Black folks as like lead characters, and I was like, the movie was about slavery.
I remember that. I actually remember that. I was just like, huh?
Okay.
Yes, and?
Okay. I like every other movie black people star in. Wait, oh, all right.
Wait. Ironically, wouldn't casting a bunch of very famous black folk actors and actresses in a movie about slavery, wouldn't that like kind of be like the opposite of the point? Because now you're forcing really high known celebrities to be in a slave position. Like, you literally are forcing them.
I love the movie Django, but nothing rips my soul out harder than seeing Kerry Washington dressed up like a slave. It makes me want to cry. Like, I get it. Like, she did an amazing job. I love that movie, right? But black people don't only have to be the stars of award-winning productions about slavery and racism. Okay, we do other things. Okay, I would love to see a basic ass movie about a black woman having some kind of Freaky Friday incident. Something that has nothing to do with her being black. Something just random.
Hold on.
You know what I mean?
I'll be right back. Frankie's at the door, I think.
Are you talking about Django? I am talking about Django. That movie smacks. But again, this is why I asked the question, why black people keep taking these damn roles. Where else we gonna get paid? Like, where else are we going to get paid? They don't cast us in roles that have nothing to do with, anything past 1960. Like, what else are we supposed to do? Is Alex taking over? I am. I'm heated now, so I'll just keep going. But yeah, like, we don't get cast for roles like that. Just cast me in a random romance movie that has nothing to do with me. Black love, or even worse, they're just black woman getting her groove back. Shut up.
So Alex, would you like to be bankrolled for a remake of Freaky Friday, but just all the characters are black? That's the only difference.
I'd still hate it because, like, you're doing it because I asked for it. Like, then I'd be like, nah, yeah. Plus, it'd be like, what? Make something new. Like when,
But that's the problem. People do make things new, but then it's not publicized because it's like, well.
Yeah,
it's not as valued. It's not as valued.
Farai Martin wrote and produced that one movie where it was like her and freaking, what's her name? Old girl who was really loud. Black woman. Comedian, I don't remember her name, but basically she woke up and she was a child again, but she was so expected to like run a business. That was so lit. It had nothing to do with her being black. Not a damn thing. Everything to do with random voodoo magic. I'm pretty sure I never saw the movie, but like, it's just, we do other things. We are allowed to do other things. It is a microaggression. This black person did so well playing an oppressed black person. She didn't have to act that hard, so well. So good. Yeah, no, that movie it looked really cute. I should probably watch it.
Probably.
But yeah. What were we talking about? I went off.
I don't know. So I told you before, I don't have actually any questions prepared for these talks. So we've just been talking off the rails for an hour and a half. Which is fine. This is what I wanted. I just wanted to fucking chat the shit with you about racial shit because I know you'd be good for the conversation.
I'm all for it.
But the thing, racism is worldwide as well. Like US, definitely we see it a lot, but it is worldwide. And a lot of people across seas like to deny it, which I think just speaks to the fact that it's probably even worse over there. And just no one wants to talk about it. Like, at least we're having a conversation.
Exactly. America definitely is at the forefront of racism, but we're not the only one at the forefront of racism. And I love to talk about that when people are like, well, then just go back to where you came from. I'm like, to Texas? Or do you want me to go back to Africa that just came out of apartheid and is also still going through racism? I'm not entirely sure what you want me to do with that.
Right.
It's everywhere. There's not a place on this earth I can escape racism. Not a place. Probably not even the moon. I'm pretty sure the moon has racist folks on it. I'm gonna be real with you. I have no idea. But we have to have these conversations, and I do think Black people in America have been very, very
purposeful about making conversations pretty commonplace. You know, like we're not afraid to have the conversation.
But
and we shouldn't be.
I think it's definitely true that America, see, the problem seems so much more worse in America because it's super baked into our culture. And frankly, we're proud of our racist heritage. That's really what it's from, you know?
It's patriotism.
It's patriotism, right? It's fucking nationalism. It's racism disguised as nationalism. It's very similar-esque to Germany in World War II. And it's funny because, you know, the U.S. is seen as like, oh, this great ally that you know, came in and saved everyone. Honey, that's propaganda. America was this close.
The savior complex.
America was this fucking close to actually being on Nazi Germany's side. Like, there was a lot of anti-Semitic sentiment, even in fucking New York. New York, of all places, the most liberal fucking state that you'll ever have in America. New York was pro fucking Nazi Germany and fucking anti-Semitic.
We do what we want for money and like no other reason. We should just stop lying about it. Just be open about it. It's really fine. But quite frankly, the first step to fixing a problem is admitting you have one. This country has not admitted to having the problem yet.
Right.
Absolutely. God. Mike, what do you think about a lot of black people trying to move to Ghana? More black celebrities, should I say? Right. So, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Let's put aside the why for a second.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because I don't care why. Number one.
Interesting.
Number one, we will never know what country we came from. Mm-hmm. Most likely Nigeria for most of us, but we can never narrow it down. Oh, my dad's been to Ghana. And quite frankly, the people in Ghana were like, we don't think you're from here. We think you're from there. Congo. We're pretty sure at least his family is probably from Congo. So for y'all to just pick Ghana and say we're all going to Ghana, first and foremost, you're incorrect. Most of us did not come from Ghana. Most of us came from Nigeria. Second off, they're the ones that sold us in the first place. So you think they want us to come back? Third, we have no ties to that culture. You idiot! What are you gonna do? Go over there and you're not helping. You're running from the problem.
Well, I do find it really interesting when black folks want to try to reconnect with their African roots.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's fair to want to reconnect with the roots, but to move to an entire country where you know no one over there, that doesn't make too much sense.
But that's you're running from your own. We have a very unique identity, right? We're not purely African. We're not.
Right.
We don't have a ton of connection to the country that we originally came from. And we haven't for many, many, many generations. And as unfortunate as it is, I think just going back in there, blindly assuming this is the country we come from and just trying to, I guess, reintegrate yourself, you're missing the point. And I understand you want to go get connected. My dad went over there to get connected. And he did to a certain extent. He knows a little bit more about his whereabouts. He's the family historian in my family. But you can't run from who you are either. What? From what a lot of these celebrities say, it's because of how it is booming in tech, and Ghana is accepting American black people and wanting to get citizenship from what I've read. It has nothing to do with bloodline. Okay.
I wonder why that is.
But
I'm very sus of like anything like that.
I think I need more information.
That feels a little awkward.
Quite frankly, that's like the first time I'm even hearing about that.
Same.
So damn, I'm gonna be reading about that tonight. I don't know. That just seems so. Why all of a sudden and for what? You know, I need the why here. Like,
yeah.
Why do you want us to move?
I would want the why of like, you know, is the government all of a sudden being nice to American black people because why? Because money, maybe? Do they want people to just move to their country and like?
And that's me. That's me with the trauma of a black person. Like I never know why you really want me, right? Like, if I get offered a job out of random, like, why do you really want me? Is it because I'm a black person? Is it because I'm a black woman? Like, what do you want me for?
Why do you think I invited you on this talk?
Why do I think you invited me on this talk?
Yeah, what was my insidious white man plan there?
I don't know. I think mostly because I just will talk if you let me.
That's true.
I've been on podcasts before, and
That's true.
have no problem talking, but I also have the experience. Quite frankly, like, who the hell else? If you're going to learn about intersectionality, you go to the source of the people who
listen.
Intersectionality.
Jeffrey has been very, very much against my white supremacy satire here shtick.
Because again, if you can't laugh.
I've said so many questionable things that I'm sure someone's gonna clip and be like, cancel Waba, they are a racist, and I'm like, all right.
God, like, come home, we'll help you build a come home.
That sounds so insidious. I'm sorry, it does. That sounds so insidious. It feels very Mother May I-ish. I don't know how to fucking explain what I'm saying here. It feels very like, oh, come home, sweetie, it's okay, you know.
Okay, so here's a
quote. We'll take care of you, and it's like, no,
they
won't.
We want to remind our kin over there that there is a place you can escape to, says Chief Executive of the Ghana Tourism Authority. That is Africa. I have to remind everyone that we were not forcefully we were, but we weren't entirely stolen away from our country to begin with. We were sold off.
All right.
Those tribes sold us off. And though that was a very, very long time ago, I don't know. I just think that's very, like, almost tone deaf. Like, you're the reason we're here in the first place. And I don't know, it's different from country to country, but that is a lot of what that is. Like, we were given away, you know, we were literally sold away, and now we're here and we're dealing with this, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm not ever going to be anything but a Black American. I could move to Africa tomorrow, and while I would be, you know, like nationality African at that point, I'm a Black American woman.
I think it's really interesting to see that the generational, you know, identity gap. Because I asked Frankie, because Frankie's parents are from, oh my God, fuck me, Trinidad and Tobago, right? So they're very, you know, Trinidad Tobagian, right? They very much akin themselves to that culture. But if you ask Frankie, you know, how she feels about that, or how they feel about that, they'd say, I'm Black. That's it. I'm Black American.
That's how a lot of us are. That's how a lot of us are.
Yeah, you're just so far removed. So it's like, man, this is the other thing that people, like, just don't get. Because they're like, oh, you can have Black pride, but where's white pride? And it's like, bitch, were you fucking stolen from your land? And it's like, well, white people were slaves once too. I'm like, bitch, that was fucking, like... It was indentured servitude. It was for 7 fucking years.
White,
you were forced.
White isn't a culture.
It's a different type of fucking slavery, and white is not a culture.
Thing. You can be
Irish is a culture. Italian's a culture. German's
be proud
a culture.
of your Irish heritage. Be proud of. You should be. It's very rich heritage. If you're Italian, if you're German, but just saying you're white, that's not a culture. That's the antithesis of when people say that they're proud of Black culture. Ours is a culture. It is a very unique culture. You know, there's nobody else on earth besides the Black Americans that have Black culture. We use Black as an overarching term, but when you go and you have to identify on several forms and it says Black/African American, that's because those are different things. You know,
they really are.
And I have one of my best friends in the entire world. She is African. She is Angolan, born and raised in Angola. She identifies herself as African American. She is an African living in America.
Makes sense to me.
Is. Me, I'm Black.
Mm-hmm.
You could get away with saying I'm African American, and technically it would be true because I do have African blood running in my veins.
There used to be that, like, political correctness where it's like, you can't say Black. Black's a taboo word.
Yeah, but now I am a Black person. I am Black. I am the descendants of people who were brought over on boats and were sold as slaves. I do not have the same historical story as my best friend. We've had that discussion. I'm like, I want you to know I'm not African. She's like, I want you to know I'm not black. Like, we're two different things. That is okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is absolutely fine.
I think, man, there's like 7 different points I want to make. Jeffrey, you are partially right. Yes, I wanted to invite Alex on the show because Alex is really cool and awesome. And I think they can speak really well on their experience, and that's what I wanted. Alex is a great talker, and I just love them a lot, and they're my friendo, so I wanted to have them on. But also, I just wanted to have on people of color, these entire, like, month, 2 months, whatever, however the fuck long this is gonna be. But yeah, I love this.
It's an amplifying kind of thing.
It is, absolutely is.
Yeah.
The other thing is, while you may not carry that, history per se of living in Africa, something that people don't understand from the psychological point of view is that you still carry the genetic trauma. Historical trauma is a very real thing and affects you and affects every black person here in America on levels that you might not even immediately understand or realize is what it's happening.
Yep. It's been really interesting. My therapist is a white woman.
Mm-hmm.
Middle-aged white woman. Go figure. But she has been so paramount. When I originally found her, she's like, why did you decide to get a therapist? And I went in for one thing, and I figured, okay, it just amounted to childhood trauma. She's like, okay, partly, but I think part of this is also generational. And you are going to be, she's like, you are absolutely, you have absolute depression and anxiety. She's like, and part of that, yes, is childhood stuff, but also that's generational.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, that, and she was so sweet about it. God bless, I love my therapist. She's like, that is not, she's like, I will work through all the childhood stuff you want. She's like, that generational trauma, I am ill-equipped to help you with. She's like, and I will never, I don't care how many books I read, I will never be equipped to help you with that. And I was just
correct answer.
You know what? I appreciate that, because that's more help than her identifying it was enough, quite frankly. But she was just like, I will help you with the part I can, but this somewhere else. She's like, if you might want to go find, she's like, if you do, she's like, now be aware, you need to go find a black therapist for that part. She's like, but I'll help you with all of this. And even that was enough to be like, oh, God, damn, I feel better because at least I have labels on this kind of stuff.
Right.
It's generational trauma, and that's why I think the Ghana thing is kind of weird, because
it's really weird.
I think it's wonderful if Ghana is just like, there is a place for you. You are our kin, because it's like, thank you. We are connected. We are absolutely connected, right? On a genetic level and everything else.
At the same time,
that's so sweet of them. But at the same time, the experiences that we've had generationally, they will never be able to get. That's not their fault.
Not just generationally, but also like just historically within your own lifetime. It's just like, government organization saying we're offering you like a really good thing. All right, I'm getting fucking hashed. Just like, I'm getting taken. Like, what the fuck is that movie called? Taken? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm automatically just like,
getting taken.
Why? Why though? Because the answer is no until you give me a reason to say yes. Like, it's just very weird. If they probably activated. They probably come from like a most like benevolent place. Good for them, but there are holes that they can't fix, and
right.
Yeah, but that, I think that it being mostly like black celebrities, rich upper crust black folks, is telling.
That says a lot of things.
That's just for money. Terry Crews. I would not be surprised if Terry Crews wanted to do that. That man, he's really disappointed me. We don't speak of Tyler Perry. That man needs help too. Terry Crews, for example, there is a term in the black community that I will not use, but he is of a he is of a certain kind, right? And he, in his he has privilege financially and socially, right?
He does.
Yeah, he's very, very rich, and he he has become very disconnected from his identity as a Black man. He will never admit to that. As far as he's concerned, we're just all ganging up on him. But when you come on to a show and speak your displeasure for Black Lives Matter because you interpret it as only Black Lives Matter, it's like, where have you gone, Terry? Where are you?
I feel so bad not even hearing about this.
Most people will not televise that. But that's
Maki's like a wait what? I had to think about it for a second. Yeah. Terry Crews, like the fucking Old Spice guy.
Yep, that's him.
Oh my God.
You got him. Yeah, he has come on.
Can't trust no one. Fucking hell.
God, no, you can't trust anybody. He has come on. He had like a whole Twitter debate with the public over this kind of thing where he's just like, y'all misinterpreted my words and you've labeled me this thing, and I'm just saying that Black people can't rise up to power and do these things and become what the white person fears the most. And I'm just like,
you're just saying that because you're rich, though.
His wife is white, and she is even like, what the hell are you talking about?
Damn.
She's like, hey dog. She's like, hey dog, I see what you're trying to do, because for him, I know he's trying. He got a lot of flack for marrying a white woman, and the Black community is like that, right? And I'm so tired of that. Marry who love who you love. Jesus Christ, I don't got time for this. Life is too damn short. Don't narrow my romance pool. Don't do that.
I mean, I think, well,
to a certain extent.
I'm gonna speak on behalf of Frankie here, because I know Frankie would say something along the lines of, you know, Black women tend to partner up with non-Black men, and then Black men get angry about that, but it's like they fucking diss Black women all the time, so it's like no fucking wonder they don't want to choose you. But that's just something Frankie has said before.
Oh no, Frankie's right.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just like, I don't even think that hard about it. I'm like, yes, first and foremost, Black men, this is not all Black men. I don't know why I have to say that, but quite frankly, I feel like I do.
It's the same thing when I say white people. Except I don't say not all white people, because the white people who know that it's not them should know it's not them. If you're in my community, you should know it's not you. When I fucking talk about white people,
so many and a very horrifying number of Black men do not care about Black women.
Yep.
Beyond what they can do for them.
Yep.
Sexually. And
I was about to say, which is straight up suck their dick or ride them. Like,
so
that's about it.
Yes. So yes, you are, quite frankly, to a certain extent, you are absolutely driving Black women away. We have been raised and we have seen in our lifetimes, me as well, like in high school, it was horrifying. I don't want to date any of them people. Like, you don't respect us for who we are. You grab on to the same stereotypes of Black women that other people have made about us. And then the minute that we go and find something even marginally better, right? We find people of other cultures, even white men, even white people, right? Who have taken the steps to respect us for who we are. The minute we go and we find happiness and peace and comfort, relative as it may be with them, suddenly you're irritated. But you play a part in that. You can't just be mad when you had something to do with that. Give us a reason. Give us a reason. And again, I probably shouldn't have to say this, but it's not all Black men. My ex is Black. Amazing. Like, dude, not all. He was in the minority, and it's sad that he was in the minority of a minority. Like, hello. So when Terry Crews is fighting this, I know he's fighting that from a place of he has been made to feel other by the Black community. But in doing that, he has wrongfully made himself feel really other in the Black community by further shunning the Black community for things we never said, under the guise of protecting his wife, who was a white woman. And his wife, who was a white woman, is like, would you shut the hell up? Like, you're one, you're fumbling the bag, and two, you're wrong. And it's it's very complicated, but I just like God, let me just have one day where I don't have to worry about. We can be being a Black woman is very isolating when you have all other cultures see you a certain way, right? Mm-hmm. Men of your own race see you a certain way,
right?
And we're fighting other Black women because we have been weaponized against each other, where it's an entire competition for a few people who actually care.
I mean, intersectionality of internalized sexism, like fucking catty and all that whole fucking like assumptions of like, oh, other women are competition to you.
Yeah,
it's fucked.
Like, why? Why am I fighting other Black women? Why is it that when I go into a room full of other Black women, I feel like I am being sized up for a competition? Right. Because I am, and I shouldn't have to. There is more than enough room at the table for all of us. Mm-hmm. But we have been raised. Oh, she white passing? Is that what it is? Okay, I could never tell. All right. Thank you. We shouldn't be fighting each other.
Yeah.
Everybody else is against us. Why are we against us as well? You know? But we have one thing we definitely have to worry about. Mm-hmm. Every day, all the time. Okay, so she being white passing. I wouldn't know. Okay, everybody sucks here. Good God. But he has said that. That's the crazy part, Maki, is there is an actual quote of him saying, I am proud of the fact that my wife is white. And it's like,
what?
Okay.
happy for you, I guess.
Well, why is that?
I mean, that's one way to fucking say I hate my fellow Black people. Like, what the shit?
Yeah, Maki. That's why I thought she was white, because he said that, and I like now you're lying. What does she even look like? No,
I don't know. I kind of wanna. Yeah, let me give it a little fucking Google.
Oh hell, that is a Black woman.
Oh yeah. It is.
Oh. More of the story is Black women are tired.
Yep, that could probably sum up the whole stream. Honestly.
Good God Almighty, Black women are tired. Me, I am Black woman. And I am tired.
I'm Black woman. Black features, white skin. Yeah.
What the hell, sir? Well, you know, for me, I can always tell a Black person, even if they are white passing. We have very, very particular facial structures. It has nothing to do with the color of our skin. So I'm always like, oh yeah, it's a Black woman. Oh yeah, it's a Black guy. Oh, absolutely. That's a Black person right there.
True.
Smell it on him.
Oh.
Oh my God. What a mess. But yeah.
I think this is a thing that is very common. Yeah.
What?
Let's discuss this. I think this is important to talk about here. Trying to process it in a better worded way.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Take your time.
People's experiences are not contained in a vacuum. Does that make sense to you? Mm-hmm. Like, I think a lot of people who look like me, a lot of white people, feel like our lives are in a vacuum. Mm-hmm. And that because I didn't have, and this extends more to than just this topic. This goes for the whole purpose of my stream, frankly, and the whole purpose of my community. You know, people have experiences that you might never have.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to try to understand that people are going to have very unique experiences from you that you're not going to share. And you couldn't, you maybe never experienced it before. Maybe you'll never experience it. And that's great. I'm happy for you. But this is how we build empathy in this community and in our lives, is we need to understand that other people are going to have these other experiences, negative, positive, or otherwise, and that they do actually happen. It kind of does seem very much unbelievable. It seems like an unbelievable thing. Like, oh my god, someone really fucking said that to you? It literally sounds like something out of a fairy tale, something out of a book. But that's just one experience out of millions of experiences like that. And just because, you personally have never experienced something like that, or you've never personally seen that happen, doesn't mean it doesn't happen, in your neck of the woods, say so to speak.
Okay, I want to say this in my way too.
Yes.
Because I know there's somebody in chat who's saying these things, right?
Yeah, and Drac has been great to me so
far.
Right,
no, it's not a problem.
I'm trying to come from an education POV.
So, this is the reason for streams like this.
Yes.
For people, the whole point of awareness is for people who may not have seen or experienced these things to be aware, right? And I know it sounds outlandish because it is.
Because it kind of is.
There's no reason this should happen. And for and for people who have never experienced this in a world that, quite frankly, to me sounds perfect, it's outrageous. And how could you believe that people treat each other like this? How could you believe that something so inconsequential as the color of skin matters this much in other parts of the world? That's valid. Like, how could you? But me being here and others like me being on these podcasts and being vocal about our experiences, that is to raise that awareness. Because even if you haven't experienced these things, being able to say, okay, I have heard and I have understood and I have developed the sympathy for these people who have experienced these things, even though I have not, that is powerful as hell. And that goes for any sort of horrible thing going on in the world, right? So it's just very, very important, that you hear about these experiences, because it quite frankly takes everybody for change to ever happen. And I know, and I get, like, there are some countries where these kinds of things just do not happen. And damn, what country is that? Because I'm trying to move. But like,
I feel
like they do happen in most of the world. And it's important that you hear these other experiences, because there may come a time in your life, no matter how old you may be, you are never too old to finally experience hatred, whether it be towards you or somebody else you bear witness to. You're never too old. But if at any point, if you come away from these kinds of discussions and you've got even a smidgen more sympathy, a smidgen more understanding, then this has served its purpose. That is the point. But I absolutely understand for you to be like, this does not happen here. This is absolutely inconceivable. Racism is quite inconceivable. Sexism is quite inconceivable. Homophobia, transphobia, all of these phobias, they are hella inconceivable because they make no damn sense. That's fair. But that's the point of these. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mayhaps.
Okay. No, I like that. I think when you bring awareness to an issue, so again, here's my point of my community, here's my point of streaming, here's my point of Mental Health Mondays. Bringing awareness to these issues, bringing light, giving people a pedestal to talk about their experiences. It's educating you that, this does exist for people. This is how it is for them. And hopefully it can help other people who are maybe experiencing something similar, definitely more on the mental health kind of talk wise. But, even with this talk, maybe that can help someone, you know, connect with another person and feel like, wow, I'm not alone in the world. I'm not the only one to feel this way. And especially for marginalized communities, especially for people with mental health issues, a lot of us do feel like I'm the only one who feels this way, but it's not true. Other people can relate, even if we don't have exact same experiences. You know, a lot of people can relate and can understand, you know, generally, you can understand the feelings, right?
Yeah, that's the point.
It just feels like that should have been a thing for like 20 years. Yeah,
oh,
right.
Yeah.
Right, we fucking wish. Trust me. Listen, that's the last question of the night too, but we got to take an ad break. But I just want to say this. I really think these kind of talks are important, and I want more of them to happen. I want more mental health Mondays to happen. I mean, I would like my mental health Monday to be the biggest mental health Monday, but like, fuck, like if any discussion is going to happen, please make it a good one. Make it an educating one. You know, I love this. I'm sorry. I really love doing this because I really feel like I'm doing something important here with my little existence, you know, and my little community. I appreciate them. And I thank you all for sitting here and listening to us blab on about, you know, important shit. I got you, Drac. You're good.
Oh, no, you're fine.
All right. We gotta take a minute half break, so go get a sip of water.
Yeah, where is my water? God help me. That's far.
Alex, where's your water?
It's like 3 yards away. I don't.
Alex, you have legs. What the fuck is that pillow?
Found it.
What is that pillow? What is that pillow?
What, in my chair?
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum.
Why?
It was radical. He gave it to me for my birthday. He made me put this on my Amazon wish list, and it's freaking Jeff Goldblum because he's hot. Yeah, thank you, Maki, because Jeff Goldblum is everything. And his birthday was like last weekend, I think. Not like this past weekend, but like weekend before that.
You know what's funny? Bob Ross's birthday was Saturday the 30th.
And stop!
Yeah,
damn.
and I dressed up as him for Sunday's stream. So
damn it, I should have done painting stream yesterday. I owe my community one anyway.
Oh, Maki,
with my wig.
Did you see my wig?
Waba, please, Waba.
I mean, you could look back on the VOD as well, actually, or you can look in selfies.
Wait, and
you can look at the poster. Hold on, let me just grab the well, I don't think I can grab the poster right now, but yeah.
I'll find it. Don't worry.
You'll find it.
I'll find it.
It's in my updates. There you go.
Okay.
It's on my Instagram as well.
I can see this with my own eyes.
I was Bob Ross.
What? Okay, that's my blood up for the day. Thank you for that.
Why?
Bob Ross.
Why?
Bob Ross.
Why do you hate my humor? Why do you boo me? I'm right.
Oh my god, Waba, this wig.
Yeah.
You put a beard on top of a beard.
It comes with... Maki, it comes with a beard. I can't help you. What?
These are beautiful paintings, Waba.
Fuck you! What?
No, these are gorgeous paintings.
What, Alex?
Look at this. This freaking mountainscape you did. The freaking paint spatter. This.
For the record, it was Frankie's idea to put band-aids on my nipples in an X formation.
I'm sorry?
You know, Bob Ross is either rolling in his grave or he's incredibly happy somewhere. I just know it in my heart.
He's very happy because I painted some happy little clouds. I also made a mistake during the stream. Do you see like the weird rock in the water at the bottom of it? Yeah, that was a happy little mistake. Happy little accident.
I didn't even notice this. You pointed out. It's so funny.
Anyway, it's called Waba Heart Mountain Reflections, and you know what the second one's called?
What?
Abstract Self-Portrait. Haddis told me to literally take my palette and just smash it against the canvas.
I like it.
That's what came out.
Actually, like...
Looks like a face a little bit.
But it's like aesthetically pleasing. Like I don't hate it, you know? I mean, the first time I did a Bob Ross painting, we got that. So, damn. You know... I mean,
I'm bad at trees. But the problem is I'm bad at trees because I didn't have the right tool. I need a fan brush.
Yeah, I was using a fan brush for the pine trees, and then the red trees that look kind of like aspen. Shout out to Aspen.
Shout out to Aspen.
But you can't see it from here, but there's actually a person in those woods, and the comedian named the painting "Where the Body Is Hidden."
Oh my god! I mean, that's what all Bob Ross's paintings are.
Absolutely.
You didn't know? You should know. Bob Ross is the most famous serial killer. He was never caught, never convicted, and he's painted everywhere where he's hit a body.
Oh my god, is Bob Ross the Zodiac Killer?
Bob Ross is the Zodiac Killer confirmed. You
know, somewhere that theory exists, and I will find it.
No, they found this. They found the Zodiac Killer, actually.
They did?
Yeah.
Who? When? Who was this?
Yeah, you can look this up. They found him. They traced him back.
Stop.
It was so stupid the way they did it too. I was like, this sounds exactly how this would end. Like, it was some random dude no one fucking really knew, but they connected him from like a photo someone took. Like, he'd been so careful up until this point, and he had already died. He already fucking died in 2018 or some shit.
Yeah. Yeah, the Caseworkers is now saying it has identified the Zodiac Killer as Gary Francis Post, who passed away in 2018.
Yep.
Oh, man! You've got to know Gary's full name in order to decipher these anagrams.
I don't know if they've actually solved it. I don't know if they actually solved it yet either.
Yo! That is actually so cool.
Right?
Actually, like, dude, okay, like the drawing of him is oddly accurate. And I always thought they just got it wrong or something.
No.
The article I just read is from October 6th this year. So
can you link it?
Yeah.
Link in chat.
There you go.
Thanks.
Like, what in the world?
Fox News. Come on.
I know, but like, this is actually a pretty good article out there, man. This is so
damn. Yeah. That's wild.
It's a circle towards the bottom, circling the same forehead. And it's like, yep, that's the guy. Little red circles around his forehead. Right.
Oh my god. I mean, really, look at this. The fucking circle.
It's actually so funny. Oh my goodness.
Wasn't true or not. I wasn't sure if it was true or not because Fox News was talking about it. That's fair.
This is hilarious. That's actually hilarious. I've never in my life laughed so hard at something.
Hello.
Not the forehead wrinkles.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I'm so mad he's dead. That's not fair.
Right?
Horrible sentence, but like you see what I'm saying. Like
right, straight up.
Excuse me. But anyways, we digress.
We digress. What were we talking about?
I don't know. Before the Zodiac killings, I have no idea.
Education, why these streams are important, all this stuff. Patting ourselves on the back. I don't know. Some circle jerk bullshit, I'm sure. No, but like seriously, these talks are important. I think people don't understand how important racial issues are, and just intersectionality in general, and like why identity is important. And I think identity is most important because, you know, if the less you think about identity, again, going back to the whole point, the less you think about identity, the less you can empathize with other people that are going through, anything, literally anything. And I really focus a lot on mental health in here, of course, but intersectionality is an important part of mental health. It always is. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of why I wanted to have like at least a month or two to talk about it with BIPOC folks. I just be like, yeah, identity is a thing, isn't it?
Yep, and it sure the heck is. We'll get there. It's a very, very long, drawn-out fight over centuries, but I like to think we'll get there at some point, and when we do...
How does racism end? That was a question that we asked the first week we did this.
Wow, what a question.
How do we end racism?
Shit. Can we? Think about it. Can we? We can end systemic racism.
I think we can definitely put a tourniquet on systemic racism, but it's going to take a very long drawn out surgery to unhook every single part of systemic racism, because you can change the laws in the books, but you really can't change attitudes for a long, long time.
Yeah. It's going to be, even after the first, it's like in a perfect world, right?
Yeah.
Even after the first full generation of people who are quote unquote not racist, because that's up to...
I mean, theoretically, shouldn't that be our generation? Ha 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 ha.
Should be, but it's not.
It's not.
You know what I mean? So like theoretically, for it to truly end in whatever unforeseeable form that would take, even after the first generation that we have that figured out, it would take several more generations before humanity could comfortably say racism was eradicated.
Right.
Because one generation says, it is sympathetic, it is open-minded, it is understanding, and all of those things, does not mean it necessarily continues. That takes work for quite a few generations. That is the problem. Even our generation technically should be, but you still have people from the past generations raising people in our generation and raising the next generation to have these same horrible ways of thinking. I don't know if you could ever nip that in the bud. You can get it down to a very, very manageable level. But hell, even when people thought racism was over in like 2008 when Obama got elected, I was like, okay, no, first and foremost,
That's fucking hilarious to me, considering I literally, as Obama was being elected, saw someone fucking have like a puppet of him being lynched on a tree, and I was like, yes, racism is over.
Yep. I was like, racism is not over just because there's a black man in the office. I was like...
He wasn't even oh my god. Alright, so people give Obama a lot of praise, and to be fair, he did a lot of great things, but he was so fucking conservative for someone as a self-identified Democrat. He was very conservative, actually. And it's kind of scary.
I will agree with Jeffrey, though. I do miss Obama.
I do miss him.
Because what came after him was, quite frankly, like, just go back. Go back.
I miss someone talking to us in a fucking calm and rational tone.
I miss Bush at this point. Like, damn.
You'd rather take the idiot than the fucking loud idiot.
But, like, Bush didn't want to be no president. That man, he's like, dog, I don't want to be no damn president. But, like, that aside, like, he did do some good things. And he did push humanity forward by being that first, right? There's always something to be said about that.
Yes.
But I'm always one of those kinds of people who is, even if the person I elected is in office, I am not afraid to continue to criticize.
Yeah, because you should.
You should.
That's the point.
You should.
That's the point of freedom of speech.
I am not afraid.
Hell, if you want to fucking go to Roots America was all about fucking protesting and rioting and shit, and like
that's the whole point.
They're trying to call rioters un-American, and it's like, bitch,
that's
hello.
Like the whole point. Like, how do you think we got here? We revolted.
We rebelled.
Stop it. Stop it. Oh no.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that as well. I was actually gonna say that next. I think he had to be because he had to get a fucking elected. You know,
he had to get elected, right? But then he had to stay there. You know what I mean? Like, I think people give the presidency a lot of undue hatred. The president cannot do everything himself. Ever.
But he's going to be blamed for it because everyone.
He will be because figurehead, right? But when you think about it, the country is not run by one person. You really want to make change. Electing a president will not make a lick of change.
And this is what I tell people. This is why I fucking tell people, like, if we're gonna talk politics and we're gonna talk elections, please fucking focus and campaign during midterms. Senate, so fucking powerful. Do you fundamentally understand that the Senate is so fucking powerful of a vote? You have
Senate,
every
House,
state has two fucking elections. Senators. Yeah, local elections are the biggest one and the largest offenders because no one fucking votes in local elections.
Yep.
Because by the time but here's the problem of it. By the time you go through national elections of a president and even fucking people who give a shit about the midterm elections of senators and House representatives, you're fucking exhausted. You don't fucking give a shit about local politics. You're more concerned about the national issues. It's traumatic to hear this shit constantly.
Mm-hmm. It is. You're just constantly being bombarded with campaign after campaign after campaign. And it's like, at some point, please leave me alone. Please. And that's fair. Like, do we have the right and the freedom to vote for somebody, more or less? Quite frankly, this is not a free election, but it's fine. Do we have that right and that privilege to do so?
Elections still aren't free and fair.
They're not free and fair. And
so bullshit.
Hello. Texas is doing awful.
We have the technology. You know what I want to do? You know what I really want to fucking do? Because I have a system. I have a system to make people vote. All right, ready? Really fucking simple system. Okay? And to be fair, this system is already flawed, like every voting system is. But ready. All right, right? You have a database, okay? Mm-hmm. You know what Social Security is, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone, to be fair, born in America has a Social Security number. I don't know about this, but I'm going to guess that citizens, when people become citizens, they get a Social Security number, theoretically, maybe. I don't know.
I think they do, yeah.
I have to look that up. But
yes, they do. They do.
They do? Okay, so Social Security, Department of Social Security, has everyone's Social Security number, theoretically, right? In some sort of database, yeah? Mm-hmm. And their systems are super fucking archaic as well. So, like, no one even knows how to hack those things anymore.
There's no point in trying.
But B of all, okay, you have this database of everyone's Social Security number. Great. Log online, and yes, identity theft is a thing, but log online, you type in your Social Security number as your password, and you register your vote. And one Social Security number equals one vote. And it has to be confirmed as a Social Security number that's over 18 years of age. Well, has to be confirmed as someone that's not dead. I know there's a whole fucking mess of shit there, but like,
no, not even like on the technological side. I had to take AP US history. We actually like bombarded our teacher with this question one time.
Yeah,
he was like, ask me anything, and I was like, we'd learned about different kinds of democracy. Yeah. We're a democratic republic, right? Which is why we vote so freaking weird. You know, you vote and then the electoral college actually votes for you, and legally they're not supposed to go against the vote of the people they're voting for, but they do all the time. That part it's broken as hell, right?
Oh yeah.
I was like, so please. Why can't we do a direct democracy, which is where everybody votes, popularity. And those are talent. Yeah, the popular vote, right? And there was some kind of logistical thing that makes direct democracies very what's the word I'm looking for? They don't work in large populations. And I don't remember why, but when he explained it, it made perfect sense. There's something logistical that has to do with that makes it damn near impossible to work. But he said, that being said, the last time I tried it with a large thing was like Roman civilization. And it didn't work for logistical reasons. He's like, in the age of technology, that needs to be revisited. And I was like,
absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. I think for sure not everyone has access to like a computer, right? But
for sure,
everyone still like gets assigned a Social Security number at the end of the day.
And you can still have polling places.
You can still have polling places. You can have mail-in votes as well. You know, I think mail-in votes should be more fucking just given to everyone. Just automatically mail out a ballot to everyone. Every single address. Mail out ballots. Why not?
In Texas, they're like severely limiting who can have those now.
Yeah, just so fucking dumb.
I mean, it's racist, but you know.
At this time, based on statewide votes, legal decisions, and the provisions of the Maine Constitution, the state of Maine is using a ranked choice. I like ranked choice voting. I want ranked choice voting nationwide, honestly. I love it. I love it as a concept.
I think part of why, if I remember correctly, part of why direct democracy in America wouldn't work is because there's so much that goes on between states' rights and federal regulations and how they have different. You'd have to have uniformity across all 50 states, and we don't have that.
I do want uniformity. I want uniformity, that there needs to be a polling place. I want there to be a policy. I want there to be a fucking... Make an amendment, alright? I don't give a shit. Make it a law or amendment, whatever the fuck. One polling place per X population. And just whatever that fucking number is, it is. You know? Just like one polling... There has to be one polling place with at least, you know, X number of machines. With whatever X number of, like, you know... people fucking volunteering to run the machines properly.
Everyone do that than jury duty. Make that jury, you think?
Right, make that a fucking, you know, give everyone the same fucking training. Just like normalize the training, send out the training videos across the fucking nation. You know, it just takes a fucking click. Mm-hmm. And like one polling place with this number of things per like 500 population required. And if you find that you're in fucking fault, then they're gonna have backup people to come in and set up jury rig a fucking polling place within 24 hours. Also, make voting not just happen on one day.
Or make it a national holiday.
Make it a fucking national holiday. Right, exactly. Make it a national fucking holiday.
That never made sense.
And keep the polling places open. Again, for more than one day. I think for the fucking more than one day thing. Like, keep it open 24/7 or something.
Someone's like, well, there's early voting. I'm like, that takes place on weekdays.
Right.
Why can't everybody have off? Why can't everybody have off for a national thing?
Right.
It's a national holiday.
Exactly.
We get off for freaking Columbus Day.
But again, the problem with national holidays is that, you know, required places of work will still have people working on national holidays.
Yeah, like hospitals and stuff.
So that's why I'm saying 24/7. Mm-hmm. Or either 24/7 or make it a fucking week-long event. Like actual 7 days, Saturday and Sunday.
And then incentivize businesses to give their employees off.
Either incentivize businesses to give employees off for the time, or either you do like another fucking work mandate, national-wide work mandate of like, you have to allow your workers to vote. Of course, you know, people will still fucking discourage it. Of course, that is a thing in New York, but it's not everywhere. But still, realty will keep you working. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, retail's garbage. Retail likes to pretend it's like an essential service, and it's not. Shut up. The shoes will be there. Let me vote. Are you out of your mind? Oh my goodness. It was really interesting because the year that the 2016 election happened, I had a job, and it was in retail. I was seasonal, right? But if I had been there, they weren't going to give me off to go vote. And I was like, so you're telling me Nikes are more important than voting? Eat dirt. Get out of here. Go away. Boss, I'm bleeding. I lost a leg in a car accident. So you're telling me you're going to be 2 hours late? This is going against your attendance. Exactly. They need a write-up. Cat.
That's Walmart. Yeah.
Yeah, it is Walmart. Jesus Christ. That's retail. Sales.
This is a cat. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
No.
I work at Walmart. It's true.
Sorry. I'm sorry for his behavior.
Poor baby. Sweet cat. Yeah, no. Walmart's bad. I think Target's really getting better. Walmart's bad about everything, let's be honest.
I've heard mixed things about Target. For the most part, it's been pretty positive, especially for like trans population, but
I have heard they've been working really hard as far as their marginalized communities.
Target is just fucking upper class Walmart, honestly.
It is.
It's so dumb.
It is. I really wonder, like, how do fast food places be handled? Like, how does McDonald's handle elections?
No.
For their employees?
I mean, there's state labor laws and they have to abide. Like they have to give
true.
X number of time off, or like, allow X number of hours to go vote. But I'm pretty sure that doesn't even extend to workers if you work part-time.
Well, that's...
But like you can be working part-time and still have like 39 hours.
Exactly. They can push it to 39 and a half and consider it part-time. I worked a lot.
So then that way you don't fucking get rights. You don't get you literally don't get rights at all.
The amount of loopholes businesses go through, I swear to God, it's exhausting. Oh my God. Well, I'm starving.
Alex, did you not eat?
I ate before class, but it's wearing off.
All right. Alex, what should I do?
What should you do?
Yeah.
In terms of what?
Tell me how to run my stream. Should we end here? Raid out for the night? Or should I go play a game and make myself cry?
How do you feel? Physically.
How I feel physically? I'm good, I think. Maybe a little hungry. A little snacky.
I say you go ahead and just raid out to a homie and, eat, vibe.
Yeah.
Mostly because I'm in the mindset of, like, self-care this week because vacation.
You should be in the mindset of self-care. I always stress that in my community.
Wow, but you should be so disappointed in me. This is the first time I've taken a true vacation since I started streaming.
Alex, I'm disappointed in you that you would think I'm disappointed in you.
I'm disappointed, like Alex.
I try to be mindful and I try to be very caring, loving, and understanding. I understand that there's a very large work ethic with being a streamer, being a content creator, especially, considering kind of not the limitations, but the expectations you put on yourself. I think you expect a whole lot. I think you expect a whole lot out of yourself, and I think part of that has to do with identity as well. Of just like you have to perform and be absolutely fucking perfect, or else you're not valid. All that good shit. But I get it. But I'm also really proud of you for identifying that you need a break, and I'm more proud of you for actually taking that break.
Thank you.
So you better fucking relax.
It was so hard, but I carved a pumpkin today.
Watch some otter streams in the new animal category.
We have an animal category?
Oh, they just added it today.
You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding. They added it today. Stop. It's called animals. It's called Animals, Aquariums, and Zoos.
There's just cams of animals.
Yeah. You've ever been on an animal stream before?
No.
Oh, they're great, Alex. There's like an otter stream. It's so relaxing.
Fox Red Lab puppies. Okay. Well, I know where I'll be tonight.
Yeah, you'll be at twitch.tv/WabaStreams.
Well, that too.
It's jokes. It's jokes. All right. Who should we rate, Alex?
You want me to pick?
You can.
Like 85,000 people live right now. It's actually insane. I mean, there's always Wiz. And
we could raid Wiz. I haven't raided Wiz in a minute.
I'm down for raiding Wiz. He's playing
a Legend of Zelda randomizer. Yep.
I support it. Do that.
We stand.
I'm with it. Cool.
He's
also sweating. He's sweating so hard.
He is sweating.
He's such a sweaty streamer.
He looks really pale.
He does. Like, he looks horrified. Well, he's in... Where the hell is he right now? This looks bottom of
Carolina.
The well-ish.
This is Spirit Temple. Yeah?
No, he's bottom of the well right now.
He's bottom of the well, you're right.
Defo bottom of the well. I was like, no.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. All right. You've all been lovely. Here's Alex's link again. Please give her a fucking follow, or else I'm going to sick Mori on you with her pew pew emotes. All right. I love you all. Thank you for the conversation. This has been great. This has been Mental Health Monday, as always. I will be back on stream Friday for Metroid Prime 2, high definition in 4K. Samus's ass about to fucking kill. I hate this game, man. I want it to be done.
Waba, did you get those dice from Extra Life?
I did get those dice from Extra Life. They're so fucking pretty. I literally just showed them. It's a light up case, right?
This is so cool.
This is so cool.
I meant to ask you earlier because I opened this like right before I got to class, and I was like, "This is." I opened them on stream.
It's the coolest fucking case.
So fancy. I love it.
I'm gonna bring it to D&D tomorrow. I'm not gonna use these dice, but I just want to bring them just to show them off.
This is such a flex.
It is.
Wow.
I'm mad. I should sign up for premium because my account has like my WabaStreams has like fucking almost like $5,000 raised, so I'd get so many other rewards. So
yeah. You might as well because they be giving some good stuff because
like shirts and shit.
Jesus, that is nice. My dad was like, "Find out where they get that made. I want some." I'm like, "What?"
All right. Cool. Anyway, love you all, chat. Talk to you later. Let's go raid Wiz. Here's the raid message as always. All right, stay lovely. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you all Friday. Otherwise, we'll be in the Discord, all right? Join the Discord. If you're not part of it, we fucking hang out in VC. We play games, we laugh, we have good conversations. There's questions of the day, we have selfies. If you want to be a sim for the Sim Stream Saturday post and selfies channel, there's instructions in the pinned post. All right, love you all. Take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and bye.